Let's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. Today's band is Lagwagon, and I might be lagging, but I'm hitching my wagon to Randy. I worked really hard for that one.
Intro. Oh man, yeah.
I feel like that one came out I didn't think about that one at all. It's just we were talking about being tired right before I hit record, and so I was like, well, there you go. It's right there.
No shit, you didn't think about it.
So Lagwagon is a band that you put up on the board quite a while ago, Randy. So talk to me about Lagwagon.
Yeah, I put him on the board probably after doing my first ever episode because I knew that was a band that I would be able to talk about their whole entire discog without losing any sleep. And there's so many songs that I love from them. But the one thing that makes Lagwagon so unique, and I think that the one thing that I'm sure will get brought up 100 times in this episode is that people knew them from Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And everybody knew May 16th from Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And I think that just kind of became the thing where in that year, I think it was like 1999, 2000 when it came out, everybody was just like, oh, okay, Lagwagon. And it became sort of like, almost like a monthly trend where it's like, okay, this is the band for the month or the next couple months. And then after a while, people just kind of forgot about them. And I was going to tell this story a little bit later, but I feel like that's a good segue for me to tell it now. There were some kids in my high school that would used to wear Lagwagon shirts. And I think the popular Lagwagon shirt was kind of like, I don't know what charcoal it is, but there's like a charcoal guy on one of the charcoal bags. And that was the logo. They just replaced Lagwagon with whatever the brand is. Steve, are you feeling me on this? Like, do you know exactly what this is?
I know exactly what shirt you're talking about, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is, I don't really know how to explain the story, but I'll try. So there was a kid that I think was, when I was a junior, was a sophomore. When I was a senior, he was a junior. I don't remember when this was. But he used to hang out with this girl. And, like, here's the thing. Like, back then, in, like, the early 2000s, like, yeah, people were friends with each other, like white and Hispanic people, but they never really dated each other. So at least in my school and where I was from. So John, who was the guy that wore the shirt, used to wear the shirt all the time. And I'm like, okay, he's got a Lagwagon shirt. That's kind of cool. Okay. And then I guess I would see him hang out with her, but I really don't know. Like a couple months after like seeing him wear the shirt a bit, she comes into school with that shirt.
Oh, snap.
I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. It was just kind of one of those things. I'm like, she's definitely, if she's a Lagwagon fan, it clicks the other way and not this way. Let's just put it that way. But that's sort of deflecting from the point that I really wanted to talk about. And what I really wanted to talk about is how just supremely talented that Lagwagon is. From the bottom to the top, from Dave Ron or Derek Plurd, their original drummer, like, both phenomenal drummers that just are so intense and are so fast. And some of the songs that I pick are some of the fastest songs that they have. And then you get to their guitarist. He's just like, he's got some metal influence in him. And he, like, especially in very early on in Duh and a little bit on Trashed, you get a little bit of like punk metal, and they dropped that after a while, which is interesting. But that was what they were doing for a little bit, and it was interesting. I don't think we've ever seen that take on punk. And then you have Joey Cape, and Joey Cape is one of the most phenomenal songwriters that I've ever seen. It's not like, I've always said this about Joey, and of course, when you talk about Joey, you got to talk about Tony Sly of No Use for a Name as well. Because if anybody knows the acoustic split that they did 2 times, and one before Tony died, which is just listening to that, just sob story. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, and both of them are incredibly talented songwriters that if they decided to go the route of, and you think about the early 2000s, like most bands were doing kind of the selling out thing. Like I think of the Ataris kind of bands where, they would be pretty okay punk bands and then turn into sort of this band that would get on MTV and get on the radio and do stuff like, okay, let's put out a Boys of Summer cover in order to get there. And it just didn't work. However, I always thought that if Lagwagon or No Use for a Name did that with the songs that they already had in the lyrics, they could have been massive in that time period because just they're masterful. It's masterful lyrics. It's masterful storytelling. And to its fault, I don't know if the mass public could have ever picked up on that and said, wow, like that's kind of genius and we should be paying attention to that. But they stuck, obviously they're both Fat Wreck bands, and Fat Wreck bands have kind of this mentality, and their original Fat Wreck bands, along with NoFX and Propaganda, but NoFX kind of came later. They were still on Epitaph for a while and Strung Out. And like those bands, they just have this like dedication and loyalty to Fat Wreck that they've never left. They've never done an album elsewhere. And at least from what I know. And they never tried to go big. Never. And I feel like, at least for Lagwagon's sake, they've created sort of that inside following without having to do that. And I think that's pretty unique. And although, no, they're not going to ever sell out big shows. They're still going to play clubs and stuff like that. And maybe they'll sell out those clubs. I missed an opportunity to go see them, but honestly, the show was canceled to COVID anyway. And I probably wouldn't have gone. It was back in December. But yeah, just like, not just like great lyrics, but entertaining as well. They're able to make fun of themselves. It's, and especially their live shows are very, very good. I wanted to talk about them because they were so unique to what was happening in other California punk bands at the time, what was happening to the pop punk scene, and they sort of continued to stay pop punk, but stayed out of all what became kind of garbage after a while.
So Randy puts them up on the board, and initially Peter gets them off the schneid and moving towards a panel because
that was recently.
Yes, very recently, because this man, Steve, you came in and said, hey, I'd love to hear you guys talk about Lagwagon. And then Randy goes, hey, what about getting that guy to come on the pod? And so I asked you, and here you are. Steve, Lagwagon, talk to me.
Oh, man. Yeah, Lagwagon is just, they've been just one of my favorite bands since I was a teenager. I was introduced to them by my older brother, which is funny enough is one of the names of one of their EPs, but that's 100% true for me. So yeah, my brother and his buddies were pretty heavy into skateboarding, and so naturally I kind of gravitated toward that. And Lagwagon was just a big part of the soundtrack of me growing up and my teenage years and out skateboarding with my big baggy jean coat pants and my Etnies shoes. And I was probably 13 or 14 years old when their record Trashed came out. And it just had everything I was looking for. Kind of like what Randy was saying. It was pretty straightforward, fast paced skate punk and with some heavy metal influence on there. And it was just, I love the fast pace of the songs, the guitar melodies, the amazing drumming. Derek is just in my opinion, just one of the best punk drummers of all time. And no disrespect to their current drummer Dave, but yeah, because he's no slouch either. But Derek was just a whole other level. But and then Joey's lyrics. I love that they run the spectrum of or serious matter, political songs or social commentary stuff to more lighthearted things like Mr. Coffee or Razor Burn or Beer Goggles or whatever. They're just, Joey has such a unique voice in both the way he sounds and just his voice that comes out through the lyrics that he writes. They're all just They're all just amazing musicians, and I don't know if I've seen them in concert a few times, and they're such a contrast. Because Joey Cape is a pretty small guy; he's probably like 5'6", 5'7", maybe. And then you've got Chris Flippin, their guitarist, he's got to be close to 7 feet, right?
Holy
Randy?
shit.
He's huge.
He's just a giant of a man. So to see the dichotomy,
He's called the
between
big
them,
bitch.
yeah. But they seem like great guys. They create just amazing songs and great music, and I just feel like for how great of a band they are, they don't get enough love and don't get talked about enough.
So I'm glad that we're here to be able to talk about them because, much like you guys are saying, like, this was a band that I'm very aware of the name. I remember it being, somewhere on my periph, and I'm moderately aware of them being on Tony Hawk. Like, I couldn't have told you that before doing the work, but I feel like that's partially where I knew them from. And one thing I wanted to hit on before we move to like how you guys built your lists, you both have mentioned this, and the striking thing for me, when you hit play on this playlist, the first two records, they have a lot more in common with like a Metallica and a Megadeth than you would think.
Yep.
And I was like, I was blown away by that. And, not necessarily in a good or a bad way, but more so in you don't usually, I mean, when you really listen to early Megadeth and early Metallica, like there is that punk vibe to it. But, punk could be described as like one kick pedal metal. Like there's no double kick. The similarities are pretty high. Like there's even times where the singer sounds like Hetfield. It's like it's there, and it's like it's like it's in their bones. It's not necessarily let's go write Metallica songs. It's just we're gonna do these Lagwagon songs, and they're gonna be what we are, and we're gonna put our influences on display. So I thought that was
when you think of those two albums that you mentioned, they came out in I believe like 89 or 90 and then 92. So that's the transition from when hair metal kind of turned into what the grunge sound was. So hair metal was still very influential in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, see, and so like it is right there for them, and they're I don't want to say right place, right time, but you have this marriage of that hair metal thing with what's going on, what's brewing in California. And, I hate to draw comparisons to Blink-182 because like Blink-182 is definitely like the very candy version, like the bubblegum version of this. But like the early Blink records do have that. They like, you could tell that Tom listened to some hair metal. Like he's, I think he's even admitted as much, but I think he's also made fun of as much. So maybe my point is moot. So I'm just saying that was shocking in neither a good or bad way. I just didn't expect it. So based on, did we get everything? I can't remember if we covered everything. I think we covered just about everything, didn't we, Randy?
Well, you didn't ask us how we did our picks.
Well, I meant like as far as the discography, how much did we cover? I can't remember if we cut stuff out.
Okay, so we covered up until Resolve was 2005, so it's Duh, then Trash, then Haas, then Double Platinum, then Let's Talk About Feelings, Blaze, and Resolve. And they had a couple other releases afterwards. I think there's one called Hang, and then Railer that came out not too long ago. And I think that going up to Resolve, like Resolve's a good record, and going up to there, I think was a good kind of way to end it because you're getting into the 100 song count. And really we could have done stuff like, add in the Let's Talk About Leftovers record with all the B-sides where there's a lot of good stuff. I added one of those to the list because I thought it was pretty undeniable that it at least needed to be discussed about. But yeah, this is just, I think this is their time period of being in their prime.
So when you talk about that time period, and when you go back to that time period and you start preparing for something like this, how do you pluck out your 20?
Oh boy. All right. So I kind of went into this with the mentality of, all right, there are going to be automatic songs that go in there. Like I looked at that and I'm like, yes, 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 yes. And then when it kind of came down to it, I had like 15 of those songs that were just locked in. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I have to see what else is there.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I had my ear open for songs that maybe I didn't give enough credit to in, the early 2000s when I was listening to them a lot. And all of these songs were songs that I was obsessed with when I was listening to them on a regular basis. All of them. There was one song that I really was trying to consider to put in that's on Blaze, and it just didn't make it because I felt like I couldn't quite talk about that one like I could talk about the rest of these that I just freaking love. And what it came down to was, I think I got myself to 17, and then I had like 9 for 3, and I spent probably a week and a half or two looking at these 9 songs and saying, how do I do this? How do I put these in? And I think that I just sort of came to a logical reasoning on them and thought about like which of these songs do I like the best? And I just did that. So very, very, very hard. One of the hardest lists that I've done in a while, because none of this was new to me. This was all kind of rekindling an old relationship with this whole Discog. So yeah, it's got a vintage feel to it, I suppose.
And this being your first time, Steve, what was it like putting your 20 together?
So I kind of did a more straightforward approach, I guess. I just created a playlist and started at the beginning, which is so hard because those first 5 albums of theirs, they're just all keepers. Like there's not a skipper on any of them. And so I started with their album Duh, and as a song kind of struck me or I had a good memory associated with it, moved it over to the playlist, and by my first pass I had close to 50 songs. And that was with me like being hypercritical, and so then I had to do a second sweep, and that got me down to about 25, 26. And then for these past week and a half or so, just been agonizing over these last 5 or 6, which to cut. And it was hard, but yeah, for me, particular Haas is an album that just absolutely love. And I try to give each album a little bit of love on this, but yeah, those first 5 Lagwagon records have a special place in my heart.
I'll say this: prepare yourself for heartbreak, friend, because I went through. So this is all new for me. So, again, at this point in the show's history, almost everything's going to be. So, I found myself kind of like what you were just saying, Steve, like really loving probably the first 5 records the most. And I think, I don't know if I put this in the group, I think I was somewhere around 50 on my first pass as well, but I think I didn't come in until I made my second pass and got it down to 32. I was like, okay, there's a manageable 32 here for me to try to whittle down. I will say this doesn't necessarily mean I love or hate the band, but I'll say that there's not a lot of easy outs. There's hardly any songs that you can go, yeah, that's an easy one to pass over. No thanks. So then it's just like you're finding like micro things to latch onto to go, yes, that's what I need to bring it to the list. There was some cream rising to the top. Like, actually, a lot of it kind of came today as I was kind of listening for the last time, like listening to the 20. I was going, oh, okay, like trying to figure out a way to like arrange gameplay here. So, I didn't really have have a plan because you really can't, I don't think, with this band. So, which leads me to my next question because I got I got feelings about this. Randy, based on the conversation we just had, for the final say, and remember, folks, you have to nail the number on the head to get the final say. How many do you think we'll get through unanimously?
Well, you being worried about it is one thing, but also I ended up taking at least 2 per album here, and I do have okay representation of the 2 latter albums, but my middle album, early album representation is very, very good, and I get the sense from Steven that one of the records that he mentioned, maybe 2, that I'm going to have a decent amount from those records as well. I'm going to go 4.
Okay. All right. That seems like a good spot. All right. Steve, what are you thinking?
Oh, yeah, man. I think they have so many good songs out there that and the way that they play their instruments and just so many different styles of things. I think that there's a lot that could, you might pick up on one and Randy might pick up on another. So I might go a little bit lower and just say 3, more conservative.
Yeah, that's the way I was looking. So now, do I go asshole mode and trim down to 2? There's only 3 of us. Or do I go super positive and just play one up above? I never get this number, and it's almost always the number I think, so I'm going to play it here this week. 5. I'm going 5.
All right.
Right smack dab in the middle. Here's hoping.
See, I think that this has, like you mentioned, the cream rising to the top. I think we all might recognize the cream, and there might be even more than 5 if we're all in. It might have been tougher if Peter were still a part of this, and we do have Peter's list to go over later. But yeah, some of these are just undeniable.
Yep, and I guess it'll what'll matter is everyone's definition of undeniable. So.
That's true.
Stick around and find out what undeniable means to each of us. We will be right back. We're going to take a quick break. It's Deprogrammed. Kickstart your road to fitness with the Hard Work Works fitness app. For all ability levels. Full gym, no problem. What's included? Over 200 workout plans available for every situation from a full gym to no equipment at all. Nutrition guide to help you stay on track, and all of this is only $10 a month. There's a special offer for Deprogram listeners. Use promo code STUPID and get your first month free. The Hard Work Works fitness app. Decide, commit, succeed, and join the hustle today. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The 3 of us have combed through a select portion of Lagwagon's discography that we will now that we all each pulled out 20 songs and are now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 star kit for you in case you have skipped over Lagwagon. And how dare you? How dare you lag behind the deprogrammed wagon? I got it in twice. Good for me. So I mentioned something about falling in love with a band when we did the Lemonheads episode, and you'll hear that. And I wanted to start with a song that I fell in love with today. As I was listening, I don't think it was anywhere on my radar as a top song until I listened to it today. For some reason, there's a part in the second verse where he's almost making fun of himself for, I used to, when I would get on stage, forget lyrics and just kind of make up the lyrics as I went. But in his second verse,
I know it's coming.
In his second verse, he wrote a verse about forgetting the verse.
The same as the verse. I forgot the words again.
Yeah.
Who's got a smoke for the caper? I know exactly what it is.
Number 1 for me, Falling Apart.
I got it.
No, I don't have that one.
Oh.
Good song.
But 2 puts it on the board at least. gets to.
Okay, so that was part of my final three putting it in, and I actually had a really difficult time with Blaze because I liked a lot of those songs more than I expected to like them, and Falling Apart got in because I feel like it's so relevant right now. He wrote that song when he was in his 30s, and they're still on tour when he's in his 50s. Literally, the song is like, I'll never be Ozzy on stage when I'm 50. I'll never be the Rolling Stones. And I think I watched it like a documentary or like a little interview with Joey, and he said something along the lines of, yep, I'm kind of a hypocrite. I'm doing exactly what I said I would never do.
And do it till the wheels fall off.
At least he's addressing it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, Falling Apart gets 2, so it's still alive. Randy?
All right. I go back and forth between my two favorite which one out of the two is my favorite record. Some days I love Trashed, and some days I love Haas. And I feel like Trashed might have been the first one I bought because it might have been the only one that I saw in the CD store at the time. So, like, on the car ride on the way back, I turn it up, and I'm just like, whoa, I didn't even expect that they had songs like this. So I'm going to start. The first one I'd like to start off Trash is actually a song that Joey did for the acoustic. I believe it was, I can't remember if it was the first or second acoustic album, but it's very, very good on acoustic, and it's just as good on Trash. Know It All.
Yep.
I
got that one.
I do not, but it's got 2.
That's one of the first Lagwagon songs that I remember just absolutely loving.
Yeah, for sure.
So where do we want to start bringing in Peter's votes? Maybe we wait till the next round.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Steve?
Well, I guess I'll come out here swinging. Off of Haas, I'll play Violins.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that one should be unanimous.
There we
just
go.
that double time at the end just kind of adds that punch. Oh, it's just so good.
Did I pass it? Where is it?
Second song off Haas.
There it is. This is one of the answers we got from... Oh, oops. Stupid phone. This is one of the answers we got from listeners. I listened to this today, and so like it made my first pass no problem. And then my second pass, no problem. But I was really eyeballing it, my third one, because, I don't know. I still have this thing where if I go to the band's page and this is one of their more popular songs, it always gives me pause because I've gotten yelled at a lot for doing just that. And I'm glad I didn't cut it because I listened to it today and I was like, no, this belongs, because this is that pop punk thing. Like I'm glad that they found a pop punk pocket that is closer to the punk rather than the pop, which is what I think Blink did.
Well, Justin, I want to bring this up. So part of what I mentioned before about how they kind of stayed along the punk lines, but it was still considered pop punk. I bring this up constantly when I do these bands, but the Rock Against Bush albums, one of the songs on, I believe, the second was this.
Oh.
It was Violins covered by Yellow Card.
Oh.
And that's where you get, like, you see another band that plays a different way that is still, like, they're more the pop side of the pop punk, and they tackle it a little bit differently. It's a little bit more, like, you don't get those drums, which you need for the fucking song, but
you get a violin.
Well, I think they do have a violin, so it works.
Exactly. Yes, Yellow Card does indeed have a violinist.
But again, if Lagwagon wanted to be that band that could get popular, like, it would have worked.
Yeah.
And Yellow Card never made it like a single or anything like that. It was just kind of a contribution onto a compilation. But imagine if they had.
Yeah.
It probably would have been pretty big because this is a very, very good song.
I wasn't even aware of that. I'll have to track that down.
Yeah. I think the orange record in the Rocket Gets Booked. I could be wrong.
Well, there we are, off the schneid. We got one in. I'm going to go with another one so I think I mentioned this. There was 3 that I fell in love with today. So I'm going to group all of them up front. This one I fell in love with after I fell in love with Falling Apart. The Contortionist.
No, I don't have it.
I don't have that one either.
Oh, nobody can save me, huh?
Sorry.
I'm out on my own. Where's the list? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. There it is. Now I got to find the song so I can play it, feel bad, and make you guys feel bad for not picking it. Oh, my God. Scroll, scroll, scroll. I should have had this up.
I guess it's really good.
Here we go. I wish I would have jotted down the line. There's a line before he gets to actually something about contorting, obviously, because contortionist. That just kind of got me.
This one's off Blaze or Resolve? I feel like it's off Resolve. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's probably why I'm not as... I remember their song being called that, but I couldn't pick it out of the lineup, unfortunately.
I'm looking at it, and it looks like I only have 2 from that record. But, all right. Randy?
All right, so I want to play this song because I think it's just a gem, and I'd be really shocked if it doesn't make the top 10 because it's one that just, like we talked about, fast songs. And Justin, you kind of, your favorite thing while doing this game is, how can you pull me in from the start? Now, this one doesn't necessarily kick you in from the start because it kind of starts this slow kind of bass line, but then you hear it, bum, 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 morning, and it just rips. The song is, again, it's kind of like one of their jokey songs, but it's just fast as fucking hell. And has a really catchy interlude in the middle. And honestly, if you look back, if you're really a Lagwagon nerd and you have the DVD that came with, or I think it was a CD-ROM thing that came with the Live in a Dive record, there's an extra on there that has that part where afterwards the bass line kind of comes in and it's Rancid's Journey to the End of the East Bay, which is freaking phenomenal. So this pick is Mr. Coffee.
Oh, no, I don't have it.
That was a late scratch for me.
Oh,
I know.
I'm glad you gave it all that love, though, because
Yeah.
I mean, contrary to popular belief, I would rather have a giant build-up for a miss than just I don't have it.
Get to that fast part, though. I just wanted everybody to get that example in.
I got to be honest. I don't have a reason here. Just a lot.
Or should you?
Yeah, just a lot of songs. What are you going to do? All right, Steve.
Gosh, this song, it's kind of on the same, lighthearted nature of Mr. Coffee. And I just love the line, "She has a new man, I have a new mustache." I'm Razorburn.
Of course.
Razorburn?
It's not
Razorburn.
Hoss.
Hoss.
No, I don't.
Why did I say Hoss?
I just love toward the end there, "Come all you faithful" is in there for no apparent reason.
I think he was trying to maybe equate himself to Santa Claus. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I do remember.
Justin, I'm surprised. I thought you would pick this one. I thought this one would be up your alley.
Again, I don't really have. This is the problem when the discography is thick. There's no easy cuts. You just kind of whatever reason, and I don't know. I'm almost positive it made my first pass, but that's not saying much because that was 50 songs. So,
right. You want to try one of Peter's now?
No,
Wait.
no. I feel like he can make like a 2 or 3. You know, if and or when we need it. You know, going into the next round. Okay. Where do I go in mine? I'm not going to go with my number 3. I'm going to skip backwards. I got a lot of enjoyment out of this one. I don't know why. I feel like there was a moment in the middle where like it completely faked me out into thinking it was turning into something else. I mean, it did. It turned into something else. And then they hit a switch and came back to it. Stoking the Neighbors.
Oh, yeah, I left it out. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a late scratch for me too. Dang it.
Great song.
All right.
The
Justin is
drumming
riffing.
on the intro was so good.
That right there is what got me.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Plus that guitar playing, though. All right. Randy?
Oh, I want to play one off Haas here. Referencing another Lagwagon song, Gun to My Head. I think this one's maybe my favorite Lagwagon song of all time, and that's Bombs Away.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep, I got that one too.
Hey,
Yeah,
there we go.
Get that shit in.
Scroll to the top. That's the easiest way. Type, search. Boom.
You've got a thing about being lame. You think you'll show us all your handicap is great.
That's one of the things Lagwagon does so well. Just like surprising intros of songs. There's a couple of songs where it starts with Joey singing and then boom, right into it. And that just, it takes you by surprise, and it feels good every single time, especially if it's on like a playlist you're doing shuffle and you hear that, you're like, oh, yes. And this song, I've always thought that Violins, May 16th, and Bombs Away were like kind of very similar, but Bombs Away has so many different sections to it, and it's more kind of a complicated composition. And I feel like Violins and May 16th are a little bit more straightforward, but they're all very like soaring pop punk songs. And I think Bombs Away just has, it has so much depth to it. It's just very, very good. And I'm glad that it is part of this list.
There we go. Yeah, it's in. In. All right, so Bombs Away was you, Randy?
Yeah.
All right. Steve?
So I'm gonna go with an album opener. Let's go after you, my friends. Let's talk about feelings.
I
have it.
Oh,
damn. Okay, that's not what I expected. Well,
yeah.
I just remember buying that record the day it came out and going into my basement, listening to it with my buddy. And when that elevator music and the bridge comes on, just me and my buddy looking at each other like, what in the world is happening? But it was just so good.
Well, again, like, they're very good at punching you in the gut with what they are right off the top. And, like doing it without the drum, like, without the drums being an intro. Now, you know, I'm a sucker for a drum in the intro, but, like, here's 2 times in a row where they use that as, you know, the sucker punch. So they hit you in the gut, you're looking right at them, and then it's like, okay, now this too, boom. And it's, yeah, I love that. All right. After You, My Friends is in. And look at that.
It's been called After You, My Friend on occasions too. I don't know which version. I feel like I always knew it as After You, My Friend, but I could be the wrong one here.
Oh, well.
It doesn't matter. It's in.
Yeah, it's in. And we're sitting comfortably at Steve's 3 now. So, like, with plenty of gameplay.
I think we can definitely get 1 or maybe 2 more.
So, well, look, I'll be the guy then. I'll put it out there. You know, it's been mentioned several times at this point. And May 16th.
You got to take it, yes.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I know it's like the obvious one, but I think so. What sets me apart and why I picked the song of it not just being a hit. But if you read the story about what it's about, it's heartbreaking. It's about how Joey woke up one morning and he was, I think he was having a one-night stand. He woke up and looked out the window. There was a church across the street, and one of his like old friends was getting married, and he realized, oh, he didn't invite me.
Oh.
Like that's a gut punch.
Wow. That's terrible. Wow. I guess I should have read the lyrics. Let me see. I'm waiting on them as you rise inside new rooms. It's official. You've gone. You can live for no one else. Man, the guilt must be huge. There's no gain in failure. You succeed at being mine. All right.
That's the master of his lyrics right there, that he can explain all of that and get that across without like kind of hinting at something, but not saying like, oh, you got married and I wasn't invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, not fully calling him out, but
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. May 16th in. And with that, we're right at Randy's 4.
I think we can exceed this.
I was going to say, can we pass my 5? Like, I mean, there's a lot of gameplay. All right,
what's the record? I'm curious. What's
the record's 9. I think
we've had a couple 8s though.
Yeah, we've hit a couple 8s. The record's 9.
You just had 8.
I think we hit 9 twice. The Chicks and Sick Man. I think Sick Man was still before I knew what the show was, so it sort of doesn't count. All right, May 16th was me, so it's your turn, Randy.
All right, I think the only album, I mean, Resolve was represented here. The only album that I don't see represented yet was Double Platinum, and I actually had a little bit of a tough time with this record. Not one, I wasn't familiar with it the most out of the 4. I feel like the songs that I knew really well were ones that I had found individually. I'm going to take one that I feel like would get in the top 10 because it's another opener song, and you look at the song title, you're like, okay, what the hell is this? And then it's kind of like a double meaning when he's singing it. So I'll go with Alienate.
Oh, nope.
Yeah, I got that one.
Oh, all right. All right. Randy and Steve got it. It's got 2. It's still alive. All right. Steve?
So yeah, gosh, I might go to the album Resolve here. This one is one I kind of discovered just doing this whole, in preparation for this. I hadn't come across it. I guess hadn't really paid attention to it until I started really listening to the lyrics, and it just really stood out to me. It's kind of a straightforward love song, but the album as a whole is a big tribute to their drummer Derek Plord, who I believe committed suicide. Is that right, Randy?
That sounds right. Yeah, it was a little bit before that record came out.
Anyway, at the end, basically, it's Joey writing a love song to his significant other, and it says, "But we may never have met if it weren't for him. Hey, Derek, maybe somehow you're listening. Today's mantra is gratitude. You changed my life. I'm sure you knew. I'll never forget the words that you said, the life that you led. I'll never forget." That song is Days of New.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of good tributes to Derek on that album, and one very obvious one. But yeah, I that one I went with the 2 that I was familiar with the most off that album, and that was unfortunately.
I didn't have high hopes for that one. That one was just like it struck me at the right time, and yeah, just the lyrics of it and the tribute.
I did not have it either, so that's why you get the heartbreak. But I mean, now's the time for the heartbreak because we're playing pretty well. All right. You know what? I feel like speaking of the heartbreak and playing well, I might as well trot some early stuff out here. See if I can find you guys. I'm always a healthy proponent of a track one, and this would have been my lead play until today.
Do it.
I gotta go. I talked about Metallica earlier. Oh, it's here. Tragic Vision.
Well, that's not the one.
Ha!
Tragic Vision is very, very good, but I just left it off.
Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah,
Hey,
Okay.
it's track one. Like it's the
it's a great album opener. It's kind of a, if you listen to it, it's kind of a rougher or more raw version of something that might be on Haas, like of songs that would come later on.
Yeah, I thought the same exact thing, and that's another one that Joey transferred over to acoustic. That sounds really, really good.
oh. All right, so it gets two. It ain't dead yet. All right, Randy.
I'm playing the opener that I was expecting and hoping for off Trashed, Island of Shame.
I got it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Awesome. Perfect.
oh. It's nice because, like, not that they necessarily leave the Metallica stuff behind, but they morph it here and start making it their
Sure.
own.
What punk album begins with, and he's prejudiced? Like, and that's like not even starting a sentence. That's like almost the middle of a conversation.
Middle of a sentence.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like they were
It's
having
so good, though.
They were talking off stage, and then it was like, "Oh wait, we need to play," and turned towards them like,
He's prejudiced.
"All right." It even has the Metallica stops. It's like they morphed and made it their own. I like it. It's right there. All right, Steve.
I'm gonna play one of Garrick showing off his drumming chops in the intro. I'm gonna go Rifle off of Haas.
Oh no.
Nope. It was bound to happen. We're at that.
Oh.
We're at that point of the game.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Oof. I mean, I hate to say it because it was the reason you brought it in, but that might have been the reason I kept it out. Like I said, I was looking for any reason to keep stuff out. It's like, well, it kind of takes a second. There we
Yeah.
go. There's a cut.
Yeah, very, very good song. I just had so much off Haas that needed to be there. And I still have a couple left.
All right. Let me see. What do I got left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We still have a ton left. We got what? 5 through already. Oh, no NTP.
I've been no one to be.
So
I think we'll have a lot of conversation
yeah,
here.
so we can go wherever we want. So I'm gonna play a crazy one here. I couldn't get away from this. It's not a cover, but it sort of is. It's a very familiar tune, but it's also they changed the words to it. So it's not Weird Al parody, but it's also not a cover of an LL Cool J song. I've got Back One Out.
I love it, but yeah, it was too close to that, just being a cover that that was the one thing that kind of left it off, unfortunately. But I love it.
All right.
Yeah, kind of a same thing for me. I just too close to a cover for me.
That was just fun. I feel like this might have landed somewhere. Like I feel like I'd heard it before. And not
Sure, it was like one of those
actual
joke
one.
songs that you found on Kaza or something like that.
Maybe.
Flippin sings this one live. It's really funny.
All right, there we go. This is the place for that, though. This is the place for that. All right, Randy?
Oh, back to me. All right, I'm going to go with one that I think is like sort of a left turn for them, and it feels like more of a serious tone and like has some intense moments too. I think it's the heart of Haas. I'm going to go with Sick.
Oh, that was number 21.
Nope, I don't have it either.
Ah.
Very last cut.
I don't even know. So I can't provide anything for you. I don't even know.
And I was telling John the list beforehand, and he was like, "Oh, 6 should be number 1."
Really?
Yeah.
It's an intense song.
Wow. Interesting. All right, Steve.
I'm gonna go back to Trashed. Love the intro to the song. It really shows off their skills and their musicianship. I'm gonna go Coffee and Cigarettes.
Oh,
Yeah, of course.
I don't have that. I had the worst reason for cutting it. And
What?
I'm going to tell you guys, it has nothing to do with the song. But Jimmy Eat World has a song called Coffee and Cigarettes that I like a lot. Again, you grasp at straws sometimes. So that's
Yeah, seriously.
That's one of them.
I think that should be a nomination for your pun, podcast and cigarettes.
Maybe. All right. Coffee and Cigarettes was...
Conversation.
Yep. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. I lost track, obviously. Shoot. Okay. I'm going to go with... the first thing I thought of when I saw this title was an SNL sketch. And it doesn't sound anything like the SNL sketch, but I still like to say it the way they do in the sketch. Ride the snake.
No, I don't have it.
Good song, but yeah, no, don't have that one.
I'm with it because now I get to play it. It was an outlier.
Yeah.
But what's cool about it is, like, I think about Haas, and there's like a cowboy on the cover, and like there is something cowboy about this.
Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of like a westernish vibe to it for sure. I think it's so tough with some of those other songs, like outside of the 5 that I picked, and outside of like maybe 2 or 3 others. Like some other songs off Haas are very much glue songs, and I feel like they have a lot of that on other records. The Trash is the only one that like every song I know by heart, and like I would never think of Ride the Snake because there's so much other strong content on that record that just I feel like you're just kind of, especially like late in the record, like Razorburn is really late, so if you're listening to it in full, you're waiting for Razorburn. So yeah, just my 2 cents.
Yeah, you know, you win some, you lose some. It is your turn, Randy.
I'm going to go back to Let's Talk About Feelings. I'm going to try Messengers, another one like Bombs Away that begins with him, and it's just again so good.
I don't have that one.
That was a last minute scratch for me too.
You know what? Play it, because I think this one deserves to be played anyway.
All right, Steve.
Let's go back to play Angry Days.
Good one.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Didn't take it.
No.
I saw somebody on Facebook mentioned it though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got the guitar solo and the breakdown on the bridge. So good.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe we do 2 more rounds to see how they go, and then dump out from there. What about E-Dagger?
I got it. Yes.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Oh!
E-Dagger makes the 10. Yeah.
And officially, we have to talk our way to 10 now, too. Because we got 6.
Another one begins with Joey.
Yep. I think we kind of.
I think we're on a theme there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we kind of accidentally stumbled on what the cream is. All right, Randy.
Ooh, there's still some big guns on the board, in my estimation. I don't know if I want to finish up Haas. I don't know if I want to get my last double plat in, or you know what? We haven't really played a Resolve in a little while. I'm going to go Heartbreaking Music.
I don't have that one.
No, I don't have that one either.
Boom.
Had to pick something from the record, and honestly, it's a great song.
Yeah. All right, Steve.
Another one I think that you could directly correlate to Derek. I think.
I bet a song like with a title like "Heartbreaking Music." Probably.
Right. So so close to death we abuse it. Like it's pretty.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right, Steve.
I'm gonna go. I'm not sure exactly what this song's about. Maybe it's about friends that have drifted apart or something. But there's Jawbreaker references laced throughout the whole song. It's "I Must Be Hateful" off of Blade.
Like I said in the beginning, Blaze was so tough, and I got the two that were out there, and this one I was heavily debating upon.
Of course, you hear the song. That's how you know. That's how you know.
I think he mentions Blake by name in that song. I guess I haven't looked into it, but I'm not sure what the backstory is.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into it too, but you're onto something.
All right. Let's do one last round and then dump out. There's a theme here at one point with the word friends, and I'm going to do one of my other.
Do it.
I don't know if I have the right one, because I have two left. Making Friends.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, that was a late scratch.
Okay. It's in the combo though. Making Friends, Justin and Randy. All right, Randy.
So I'm looking at the top 10. We got two Haas. We got two Feelings. We got one Trashed. That should be changed, and one Blaze. I don't have any Duh. I only have one Duh left. Let's try Beer Goggles.
Nope.
Another. I made the first pass, but
Same. I didn't have a reason. Just you got to lose stuff.
so good though. Now that I hear it,
I've said this before, but I'm saying this for the benefit of Steve. We play these when they're a miss to make everybody feel bad.
Exactly.
mission accomplished, buddy.
Yep. Oh, that's yummy. I don't know. I don't have a reason, so I'm not going to dwell on it. All right, Steve?
Yeah, I'm looking at the list. Let's see if I can get a double platinum one on here. I'm going to go with another Friends song, To All My Friends.
I got it.
No, I don't have it.
All right. But it gets to hang around for another day.
A lot of songs about friendship.
Yeah. Like initially, I was thinking that was they were gonna get cut because of that, and then I ended up going, no, why? Like I like that, and especially since I feel like anyway. All right, so let me just dump out from here and see if I can find any of you guys. Foiled Again.
No.
Parents' Guide to Living.
Nope.
Lazy.
Great one, but no.
Yeah, same here. Late scratch.
All right. Smile.
No.
Burn.
Oh, another one that was really tough to leave off.
No.
All right. And last but not least, Change Despair.
No.
I don't have that one either.
All right. See if you can get a couple extras in here, Randy.
Oh, I got left 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Okay. Whipping Boy.
No.
Move the Car.
Oh,
It's
no.
so good.
No. Yeah, it's so good, but no.
And my last one is Automatic.
Oh, that's another good one too. No, I didn't have that one.
all right. So just for fun, Steve, do you want to dump out whatever you got left?
I had Give It Back.
Oh,
Trash.
good one.
Sleet from Haas.
Another good one.
27 from Double Platinum. And
Another great one.
the slow burner off Let's Talk About Feelings, Owen Meany. Takes about 2 minutes to get to the fast stuff, but it's good.
Yeah, I've always seen that one. Like, I always think of is it an instrumental? Like, I can never remember getting to it.
All right.
Yeah, it's about a minute 55 is when it finally, really ramps up. And at just under 4 minutes long, it's probably one of their longest songs.
And to be honest with you, that whole entire record is like 2-minute songs or less.
Yeah.
They're all fast.
All right. So let's see what we got unanimous here. Again, we got 6. So that means we are walking our way through the last 4. Unanimously in May 16th. After You, My Friends. Bombs Away. E-Dagger. Island of Shame. And Violins. And then we have 8 in the conversation that we need to trim down exactly in 1/2. Alienate, Coffee and Cigarettes, Falling Apart, Know It All, Making Friends, Razor Burn, To All My Friends, Tragic Vision. Now, what I'd like to do here, this is where, let's make it a little easier on ourselves. Anything that Peter had gets to live. Let's see. What do we got here? Tragic Vision, Know It All,
Yes.
Coffee and Cigarettes.
Has to go over.
Is there another? Or?
Alienate, Razor
So
Burn.
we got to
Yeah,
we got to make
helpful.
a decision now.
This isn't helpful at all. All right, well let's all right. So let's see, which ones didn't he have so we can get them out.
I think Making Friends to All My Friends and Falling Apart.
So To All My Friends is in because he has it.
Oh, he has it? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Man, we would have. Let's see. Looks like he didn't have Making Friends, so Making Friends is out.
Didn't have Falling Apart either.
Nope. That sucks. That hurts. But also, I'm the new guy, so. That brings us to 6. So that seems right? That way we only got to make 2. Alienate, Coffee and Cigarettes, Know It All, Razor Burn, To All My Friends, and Tragic Vision. Okay. So let's look. Do we care about album representation?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Trash needs at least one more.
All right. If we care
Trash. How have we not done that yet, Justin?
I don't know. I thought it several times when it came up. If we're caring about representation, Tragic Vision's the only thing from Duh.
Correct. Let's get back to that one
Okay.
in a second.
All right. So you want to grab one more from Trashed, which is either Coffee and Cigarettes or Know It All.
Yeah. This is really, I'm cool with either one, but this is really, really tough. Do you want to play a little bit of both to sort of see what the room feels like?
That'll never help, but
No.
that's why we do it. All right, let's start with Know It All. Oh. All right, we got a little bit of a taste there. Here's Coffee and Cigarettes. Man.
Oh,
Do we have this? Do we have this sound?
something really fast.
Yeah.
Island of Shame is a little fast, but it's more a little bit like riffy. I would say that Coffee and Cigarettes would be the one. Know It All's a little bit more like kind of bubbly and pop punky, but Coffee and Cigarettes is just a freaking ripper.
All right.
Great guitar work on that. Anybody agree? Or
I'm with you. Like, that's my inclination, listening to them back to back.
Yeah, I had both those songs. So
Yeah, I was
Either way
odd man
goes.
out, too. So,
right, it's knock me over with a feather.
yep. Made famous by Curtis.
That's right.
All right. So now we need one of these ones from Double Platinum. Yes?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So it's Alienate versus To All My Friends.
I think it's Alienate.
What are you thinking, Steve?
Yeah, I feel like Alienate is, I mean, it's the album opener, it kind of grabs your attention and it kind of sets the tone. I mean, that whole album is kind of, with the guitar tone that they have, it's kind of fuzzy guitars. I feel like
Yeah,
the
that
whole
was
album
weird to
is
me.
Designed to kind of be taken in all at once. And I think Alienate really kind of sets the tone there.
All right. I'm with it. All right. So now we're down to our bottom two. We have two left. And we have two spots, 4 songs. So I didn't cut Know It All or To All My Friends.
Okay.
So they're still alive. And we also have Razor Burn and Tragic Vision. So now I feel like if we're sticking to it with album representation, Tragic Vision has to come into play here. Either we care about it or we don't.
I agree.
That was a late cut for me. So I mean, I'm good.
Wait,
with
I thought you
that one,
thought you took because I didn't take Tragic Vision.
Oh, I did have it. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So we don't have any of like the comedy yet. And that's where I know we already have 2 Haas, but Razor Burn is the perfect comedy song to go on the list and show that, like, okay, there's like not just that it's a fast and fun song, but like he's making fun of himself, like sometimes they'll call me Mountain Man. Sometimes they'll mistake me for a stupid drifter. I might be a wise man, but I'm an idiot. Like those are just, it's funny. There's sometimes
I was lame. I grew a beard of shame.
Yeah. Compares himself to Billy Gibbons. Like it's really one of their funniest songs.
So Razor
Falling
Burn,
Apart's funny too, but this one stands above.
Razor Burn and Tragic Vision then?
I think those are the 2, yeah.
Any opposition?
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get Razor Burn and Tragic Vision. And
This is a great list.
now we have 10. We are there. All right, so here's our 10, and then we will turn up the heat. May 16th, After You, My Friends, Bombs Away, E-Dagger, Island of Shame, Violins, Alienate, Coffee and Cigarettes, Razor Burn, Tragic Vision. Randy, of those 10, what is the one?
Oh my God. You can make an argument for pretty much any of these. You really can make a good argument for it. I would say the ones that you can make least argument is probably After You, My Friends, E-Dagger, and Tragic Vision, but everything else has a really good argument attached to it. My heart says Bombs Away.
I can't. Ooh. What are you thinking, Steve?
So I mean, just I'm showing my bias here, but Haas is just a perfect album in my mind. So I would go with Violins or Bombs Away.
Violence is a very, very close second.
Those would be my 2 as well. So let us make it harder. I don't know how you ignore that.
Right? Think about like, and you have to bring a little bit of this into play, and maybe from my standpoint, it's because I'm on these episodes, but the end of the year, like, what's going to have more of an impact? Like, what's going to like maybe hit Fredo a little better? I think Bombs Away is it. I mean, maybe nothing hits Fredo and he calls it shit.
I love you for trying. And here's violins.
He liked the Aquabats, though. You never know.
That's because horns, man. That's because horns.
It's true. Undeniable horns.
I'm inclined to go with Bombs Away here because I think it does what the show intends. Like, I think Violins is great and it showcases what the band can do. But I think if we want them to take the time to listen to the other 9 songs, you start with that, and I think you got them.
Yep, 100%.
Yep.
All right, so let's go with Bombs Away as our number 1. I like to make a note here. This is something Jenny started doing, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's make a note of the number 1. Not that it really matters, but if I ever decide to print these up for my book, who knows? All right. So, that being said, let's get this back on in the background. Let's start over. So, our 10. We have Bombs Away is our number 1. May 16th. After You, My Friends. E-Dagger. Island of Shame. Violins. Alienate. Coffee and Cigarettes. Razor Burn. And Tragic Vision. Let's let Bombs Away get its moment in the sun.
She's trailing far behind. She's feeling incomplete. She has the will to win. Listen,
Look at this Haas on the album cover.
I mean, 2 albums there. They're very, like, Western associated. And they have an album called Hang, too, which I think is just a noose.
Jinkies.
That's true.
So we have done it. We've done all the work for you. We have plucked out 10 songs. Seriously, all you got to do is push
Great
play
list.
now. Like it's just that simple. You are now a Lagwagon fan. You're welcome. If you would like to be a fan of me, well, that would be really cool too. Patreon.com/oh hi Justin. $1 a month gets you in the door, and it gets you all sorts of great daily audio content. It also gets you in access to the Discord and different channels in the Discord, which is cool. And it also helps my self-esteem because clearly I need it, apparently. Also, good boosts to my self-esteem include rating the podcast. In Spotify now, you can give a 5-star rating, which would be very cool. Supposedly, what they say is that makes me appear. It's the algorithm. You know, I got that algorithm. Let's do it. Let's break some records this year. I don't know. Whatever, man. Let's just work really hard and do stuff. I don't know what I'm saying. What you could be saying is subscribe, rate, comment. That would be cool. We already mentioned Patreon. And if you'd like to hear us continue talking, by the way, that is also a Patreon content. The After the Fact show, the 3 of us are going to sit around and talk for more time, probably for 7,000 hours. We'll never stop talking. We're just going to talk forever. And you can listen to it if you become a patron. So that being said, legionstupid.com. Go there. That too. I think that covers all the bases. I don't know. One of these days I'll write it down. But in the meantime, Lagwagon. Learn and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Bye.